Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to fly your Cessna 182. So I'll do all the procedures and first remove the chocks, then remove your engine covers and your pilot cover. Your pilot cover is over here on the wing. And then just look around the aircraft for any visible dents or scratches. Then you can look at ailerons, elevators, and rudders if they're all good. And then just press Shift C to enter the cockpit, or if you don't want to press that, then just walk around the aircraft over here and walk in. And then now you're in the aircraft, then just enter the cockpit. There'll be in a weird view. Then I'll just tell you most important things. So here you have your map, here you have your throttle, it's different to other aircraft. And here you have your engine propeller and your mixture. And here you have your flaps, your trim, your tail wheel, and your cowl flaps. Then here you have your heading indicator, it shows you what heading you're at. There's your propeller in front of you. Yeah, and then you move around. Here you have your yoke, you move it. Then if you put away the yoke, then here you have all your lights, your fuel pumps, your alternators, batteries. And then here are the most important switches. So the most important, it's called a 6-pack. So here's your it's your altitude, and it's basically your pitch indicator. So if your aircraft is going down, this pitch indicator will point down, and if you're pointing up, your pitch indicator will go up to the angle. And then these two lines, this is slight bank and this is average bank. And so that is your indicator. And here you have your altitude indicator. It works like a clock. So when there's a big thing and a small one. So when the big one is at 1 and the small one is at 0, then you're at 1,000 feet. Imagine the big one's at 2 and the small one's at 4, and you're at 2,400 feet. Understand it? And then here you have speed indicator 20 knots. In the middle of that is 50, 60, 80, 900, and then normal operating speeds is the white. Then okay, doable is green. Then you shouldn't go there, that's the yellow. And then red is never go there to that speed. And then here you have your turn coordinator when you're moving with your rudder. That does not so many G's. Here you just have another heading indicator. Same to that, just it's easier to read. Then here, this is just your vertical speed. When you're flying level, your vertical speed will be at 0, and here, and then here if you look closely, this is then suction, and this tells you the suction for the instruments, because the instruments on this aircraft 182, the old one, these are suction powered. And then here you have a clock. Here you have your map. Here you can tune on to frequencies, but we're not doing that today, just to make it easier for you. And here you have aircon, cabin control, and and here you have your parking brake, release, keep it on for now. Here you have your magneto. It stands for basically ignition. And yeah, here's then your transponder, and yeah. Yeah, so if you want to know anything else, then just look at my other videos or comment down below what you want me to do next. Here are any of your circuit breakers. Oh yeah, now to starting the aircraft. Before we start the aircraft, if you want to get the EFB, so electronic flight bag, you can either go up here and press this like an iPad, EFB, or you can press tab, TAB, on your keyboard, and then you have it. So first here you have your map. So today this is our route, so we're gonna taxi out, taxi here, taxi onto runway 0 to runway 28, take off at about 65 knots. Then we're gonna make our left base and another left base to pattern 1. To pattern 2 we'll make our slight right. Then here we're gonna aim for about 7,000. Then coming down here we'll have about 5,000, and here about 1,500. Then here we're gonna aim for 700, 500 to about 500, 300, and then here we're gonna be going St. Bart's, one of the hardest runways here, and we're gonna touch down at St. Bart's, and then we're gonna taxi here to the gate. And yeah, so here you have your map of the whole world. Yeah, here. Then here you can recenter on your routes, map settings, then nearest airports. You can look at nearest airports in your vicinity. Here flight information. Here then this you have your display size, large, large, medium, and small. For now, this that you can see it better, we're gonna keep it on large. And then here you can have more information for your airport. So here you have EDDS. If you want to have a different airport, let's just tune on. Let's for now just tune on to Princess Juliana. We just press on TNCS, more information, and then here we have TNCM, and yeah, and then here we have general weather. Here we have wind 11 knots from 80 degrees. So 80 degrees, if we have 11 knots from 80 degrees, that means we have 11 knots from this way, so 11 knots from here. Yeah. And also, sorry, 11 knots from here. So we'll have tailwind. And visibility 5.40 nautical miles, clouds scattered, air pressure 30.3 inch, and yeah. And here we have TAF, and yeah. And here if we go to runways, runway 28 we have tailwind, runway 10 we might take off. It just make it easier for you, we'll do runway 28. No, we'll do runway 10 because then we have a headwind. And since we're doing on runway 10, our route's going out here, but since we're on runway 10, because the wind is coming from here, so I have to take into the wind, so we're gonna go here. It's actually better fuel saving, then we just cut into our route. Yeah. And you have this, and then for TNCM you tune on to arrivals, approaches, and yeah, so on. Yeah, and then Here you have your routes. You can look at your routes. And then here alternate, we'll just do TNCS. 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 That is Saba. There. Yeah. And then here we have all of our waypoints. Here we have the other waypoints. And departure to arrival and alternate in case something goes wrong. Yeah. Then we sent ADC and avionics there. Now we can go here to performance. We can do step size, all of this. Tank capacity, and yeah. Then here to flight details, we can add our registration, airline, let's just do private, flight number, ATC call sign, flight date, and yeah, off block time, and yeah. So yeah, and then here flight type, scheduled, let's just do scheduled, yeah. And then remarks, nothing. And here payload and fuel, we have payload. So first for total fuel, we add about 16%. Taxi fuel, we need about short, so about 7 pounds. Trip fuel, 9 pounds, yeah. Final reserve, 19 pounds. Alternate fuel. Let's just quickly go here to the route and look where TNCS is. TNCS is, there's TNCE. We need TNCS. No, I can't find it now, but yeah, so since it's, I know that it's pretty far, so we'll just do about 15 pounds. And then extra tankering, we don't need that much. And then, yeah. Here total payload, yeah, that's good. Navigation log here just says our waypoints and the heading for that waypoint, the distance to that waypoint, and then estimated time. Here we just have the clip charts, and then TNCS, we don't need it now. There, so that is all just for flight planner. And settings, you can put all your settings if you want tablet size small, medium, large, horizontal or vertical. I think we should do horizontal for now. Brightness, we can add brightness. And then flight planner, more apps, settings, pilot book, anything. Yeah, pilot book. Let's just start with flight planner always. Then KMH, all of that. Let's do knots, yeah. Then here we have aircraft, it says type. Here we have the flight performances. Here we have checklists, which we don't need now. Then here we have aircraft information. It says cruise speed and everything else. And then here we can go to pilot book. Yeah. And then this tells you everything, and yeah. So my total flight hours, like in total, my whole life is 48 hours. And then total flight distance, 122,483 nautical miles. Airports visited, 22. Total takeoffs, 401.98. Yeah. Then month, year, week. Yeah. And then here we go to more apps. And then here we have all the apps. And yeah. Yeah. And yeah, now we don't need this anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So now we'll get to the startup. So first, so for the startup, first you'll put your mixture to 4 rich, your engine propeller to 100. Then you put your alternate air to close, keep it there, alternator and battery on. Then you'll take your pilot heats, turn it on for a bit. Keep it on. Turn it off now, there. Now you turn on all of your lights. Your fuel pumps on. Avionics master on. There. Now it's led by beep. Now this for startup. Now it is warming up the engine. There now it's done. Then I started the engine, and oh yeah, and this flight today it will not have a just like a part 2 how most people have it. It will actually be like actually good. And yeah. And with your map, you would have to just give it a bit of time to get finished. And when you spawn in, you'll be at 5 nautical miles at range. I would recommend you for taxi to put it closer. In 0 visibility, you would definitely love to do this. It's just make it easier to taxi because you can see the runway and everything. Then if you go out, fall out, then this is our whole route. And these are followed out. On Cessna's it's simple. And yeah, so next we will be taking our parking brake, releasing it, putting our yoke back to visibility, and we will put super little throttle, only 10% for taxi. First, you just have to look if your passenger seatbelts are fastened. Your window, I would recommend you to open it now, because like for taxi, I love opening the window, because I like the sound. If you don't want to, then just don't. I don't want to bore you with the sound though, so I just won't keep it open. Yeah, and yeah, so that part when it's open, you see the difference. It's loud and then quiet. Okay, so now our parking brakes are released. So now, for today's flight, we'll do with no ATC the whole time. Yeah. So now it's taxi with 10% throttle. It's slowly taxiing, just that you don't, because you probably don't want to do ATC. If you want ATC, just ask me. I'll make another video next time. Okay. Then I'll just turn around. And yeah, just turn around and with your map, taxi to the runway. Today we're going to be taxiing with taxiway E, taxiway Echo, and yeah, so just taxi super slowly at 10% throttle. We're going to be now taxiing to the end of runway 10. So there, now let's stop at hold short. There, if you ever see this line with, if you ever see this big line with small stripes on it, that is hold short. Always stop there before entering the runway. And then put your parking brakes on, and now we'll get ready for takeoff. So first we'll make sure all our lights are on. Yeah, great. Make sure full mixture, propeller to sometimes 100, not always. We always put flaps to 10%. But since we're today doing it's pretty hard takeoff, we won't. Or we will. Yeah, we will. Let's do it. Now my flaps are not willing to go to 10. Yeah, my flaps are now weird. Okay. So now elevator trim, we just put it to the takeoff config. If you want full control, put it to 0%, which I'll do today. And then release your parking brakes. Usually you would now tell ATC, but today we're not doing ATC. Release parking brakes, and now taxi up. And by the way, this is MSFS 2024. And now, don't take off yet. Now we're gonna be taxiing to the end of the runway. If you're wondering what this ugly sound is and if you can fix it, no, you cannot fix it. It's just the sound of the 182. And now, always at the end of the runway, we call it a teardrop. It's called a teardrop loop. You'll even see it. I'll just quickly go out. Do you see this? It is here. It is. So you go there, you turn around and do a teardrop. That's for bigger aircraft like the A320. It's then with smaller aircraft, you just go here and turn around along this loop. and then a line of the runway. And since today is no air traffic, we'll just hold here. And yeah, so here first you'll go on your map. If you see your map here, you'll just go out to your desired area, how far you want it out. So I'll stay here for today. You can go also out far. Yeah. And then here you have mixture and all of that. Mixture you'll keep 100%, propeller near 100, not 100 always. And you'll look if your pitch indicator is calibrated and everything else. Yeah. Okay. Then you'll just look around and yeah. Look if your lights are on, magneto's on, and yeah. Here's your oil quantity and your parking brake. Yeah, just look at your route one more time, and yeah. Okay, now and next you'll put here on your yoke, release your parking brakes, make sure your windows are closed, your passengers are strapped in. Yeah, windows are closed, aircon, I'll keep it off. Here you have your sun visor. There's no sun, so that's useless. We'll now put our parking brake off first, and then we'll put our throttle, which is this, to full. And then you use your rudder pedals to stay center lined. And then at 90 knots lift off. And proceed to your route. Es fühlt wie etwas mich von unten hochschiebt. Oder es nur nicht. And yeah, then when you're mid-airish, then put your throttle lower, slightly lower, and proceed to your route. And enjoy the views. And right now we are fighting crosswinds. We're gonna be stabilizing at 5,000 feet now. And we're stabilizing at 80 to 100 knots. Change of plan, and to stabilize at 3,000 feet. And if you see the island up above there, that is Saint Bart's, or also known as Saint Martin. And now we're flying over the Caribbean. Caribbean. We are getting a bit closer to St. Martin. So yeah. There now will go up to 4,000. 4,000 feet. And I will just start our descent super slowly. And since you might have noticed that while we've entered St. Bart's area, it's gotten bumpier because St. Bart's is known for hard winds. And now it's getting slightly better. And since it's such a short flight, we just leave all our lights on. And for St. Bart's, you always leave lights on no matter what time of day or nothing, because there's always air traffic around. Okay, now we'll stabilize at 3,000 feet. There, now we'll just go here and our flight planner, this to, and we'll just use this to get get a good feel of our aircraft. Okay, so we'll have King to do a left base bucket. There, now we're at 2,100, and it's getting slightly bumpier into same parts with some drifts of air currents, but we're still perfectly on the route. Okay, now we'll descend to 2,000 feet. Okay, now we'll just look if our flight plan is happy. Okay, there, now we're just gonna do a short flyover of the airport to look if there's any traffic on the runway. Okay, we see the runway. Now we're just gonna fly over it, see if there's any traffic. So we're basically gonna go there, around the mountains, up there, down, and do a bucket. There, we're over, looking down, we're great there. Now let's add some continuous thrust to climb a bit. sorry guys, might have looked like I zoomed front, like skipped a bit, but I actually did. But I explained to you why. But I only skimmed for like 30 seconds because my phone died that I was recording on. And I forgot to turn the PC off last night. And it was on all night, so it cost $755 for the electricity bill just for last night. And it's getting a bit bumpy because we're having some adverse yaw, aka turbulence. Into St. Bart's, which we can see the runway of already. That's good. Bits. This is an average approach in St. Bart's. So if you try land here, don't get too shocked. Let's extend 30 degrees of flaps now. And yeah, I just brought it 30 degrees. Okay, now we put thrust to 10 to 15%, and we will now descend down to the airport, and we'll make a shallow approach just that we don't overshoot the runway, because this is a humongously tiny runway. But I've landed here hundreds of times in my life. No, like 20, like 55 times. Okay, thrust to idle. And the float begins. There's the center line. Then I'll taxi off the runway. Hold it there. Okay, that was a bumpy landing. That's probably one of the worst landings in my life. That was a terrible landing. But yeah. Now it's taxi to gates. This is one of my favorite airports. Tell me if I should do a vlog where I actually land at this in real life. Sketchy approach. It's works. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make another video in a few days, or I even make it today maybe. It's gonna be okay. And there now we just hold short parking brakes. Yeah. So it's my video that I'm gonna make. It's gonna be about. I'm gonna tell you later, but for now I'm just gonna do parking procedures. So now, since you're at the gate with parking brakes on, let's look at your systems. Look, they're doing good. You'll turn off your batteries, your magneto. You'll turn off your mixture there. It's to choke the engine. There, you choked your engine. Good job. You'll turn all of this off. Your flaps you'll put back to the normal detent, the tractor detent. And yeah, you basically landed your aircraft. Your fuel pump, make sure they're off, all off. Great. And now exit your aircraft like this. Exit. And look at your aircraft. And after you look at your aircraft, look at the flaps, look everything. You might be thinking why I look so small, but it's because I'm crouching. Look now, I'll just randomly grow. Yeah. And look, this is this beautiful airport. Look, there is where all the other planes. Oh yeah, I've landed from there. Right now, I'll just do a video where I land down there. But there, if you want to land there, you approach like that, and then like that. Here's the runway, and then last second you pull up and flare, and then touch down and on this runway. And here's a restaurant. Oh yeah, bienvenue. That is welcome in French. Yeah. So here, yeah, if you want a flight with a full ATC, just tell me, I'll do it. A night flight I can also do in St. Bart's, so why not? I don't see why. And yeah, next, let's cover up this, and yeah, we're good. I'm wondering why this is loading. So you just landed your Cessna 182. Good job.